Hey guys, welcome to the Foundry podcast. We have episode 9 today, and I'm joined by Tim Shea. Tim is one of the members here at the gym, and he's a power lifter, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So, without further ado, Tim, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Tim. I grew up in Wisconsin, and I joined the Marine Corps in 1998 and did that for about 6 or 7 years. And my last duty station was Parris Island, and I got out in 2006 and stayed in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a local now. I've been here most of my life, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think about Beaufort?
It's a nice little town, and you really don't appreciate it until you go to a big city and you gotta wait an hour just to get seated for breakfast.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's nice to be in a small town. It's convenient.
Mm-hmm. Now, you do some powerlifting. What got you into powerlifting?
It was actually Jonah. You remember Jonah?
I don't remember going.
We were working out for a couple years, and he just had this one of his bright ideas, like, "Hey, let's go do a powerlifting meet. Let's go compete against some real lifters and see how we do." And he got 4 of us together one weekend. We went to Myrtle Beach, and just had a blast. We all got first place in our events,
Mm-hmm.
and I was hooked.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So did you and Jonah know each other a long time?
Yeah, well, we met here in the gym when it was the old place.
Mm-hmm.
Just lifted for a couple years together, and it was like one of those typical bro things, lifting together, don't know each other's names, and then you slowly get to know each other,
Yeah,
and then next thing you know, we're spending a weekend together in Myrtle Beach.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So that was the first event. What event was that as far as like organizations?
SPF, Southern Powerlifting Federation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that I mainly lift in. I have lifted in another one, and that was 2016.
Okay. Have you been competing since then every year or?
I try to. That was great. It was fun. And I think 2017 and 18, we had those hurricanes roll through.
Yeah.
And I was working with the phone company, so it wasn't easy for me to get time off
Sure.
with all that going on. And then got back into it 2019, and I've been doing 2 a year since 2019.
Awesome, man. So if people who watch or listen to this aren't really familiar with powerlifting, I know that, when you come to the gym, there's a lot of different equipment. Powerlifters pretty much just need 3 pieces of equipment. They need a bar, well, they need weights. So bars, weights, and then a bench and a squat rack, pretty much, right?
Pretty much.
So can you talk a little bit about what powerlifting is for people who don't know?
Powerlifting is basically you test your max strength with a squat, bench, and deadlift.
Mm-hmm.
And all the different federations, they have different events. Like you can go do a squat only, or a bench only, or deadlift only. My first event was actually a push-pull, where it was bench and deadlift. So I had a little knee thing going on, so I just did that.
Okay.
And there's so many events running simultaneous, and by the end of it, they add up your lifts and scores and see who gets first place.
And so it's based on total quantity of weight, correct?
Within your weight and age division.
Okay.
Yep.
So the divisions are broken up by age and weight. And so in your division, what's a typical, like, competition look like? How many guys are you competing against?
At a meet, sometimes I'm the only one there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40 to 44 years old, and I'm in the 308 weight class.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not many of us out
Mm-hmm.
there. There's a lot in the world, just not within the federation, competing at the same time on the same day.
Mm-hmm. Do you score based on state and city and nationally and things like that too?
Well, I've been doing with SPF. I'm not like bougie or anything, but I pretty much only do nationals and worlds.
Okay.
It's spaced out enough to where I get 2 events a year. So I try to. The way they do it is by your age and weight, and whoever lifts the most weight.
Awesome. And what's a normal weight for you?
Um,
What's your starting weight? We'll put it that way.
my opening squat is usually about 600 pounds. That's my first attempt. and that's grown. I used to keep it at like 565, 585. Now it's just 600 right now.
What's your max currently?
My max in December, I did my best squat ever, and it was 725.
That's a lot of weight.
It was a lot of weight. It was scary.
Plus Tim.
plus me.
And you said 308, so I mean that's
Yeah.
that's over 1,000 total
I weighed
above the floor. Yeah.
I weighed in at 301 that day.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you go to some of these events. Are you lifting the most weight of the day in most of these?
No.
No.
And it is cool. It's a cool feeling because and I'm usually in the third flight. That's usually when they put the heavier lifting weight guys in the later flights. And it's cool. I mean, to me, it's kind of humbling and it's kind of cool to see my name on the flight and I'm like middle way down. And it's cool. I like it because I get to see people lift bigger weights than me, and that's awesome to me.
Awesome. So where do you usually compete as far as like states and stuff go?
With SPF, they're really based out of Tennessee, Southern Powerlifting Federation, so they're in the South. Most of their events that I go to end up being in Tennessee, and then the last two worlds was in Cherokee, North Carolina, at the casino. So that was fun too.
And how many people usually show up for the entire meet?
A lot, man. 60 to 70 lifters.
Yeah.
That's a long day.
Do they have 2 platforms or just one throughout the day?
He's done it where he's had 2 platforms before, and this last one at Worlds, it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event. So they split up the lifters, but it was 1 platform.
Gotcha.
It was still a long day.
Still a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you see the memes about powerlifters, and they always have their little cots and blankets and pillows ready to go.
Well, when you're waiting on, 50 other lifters to just get through it, and it's a fast-moving meet. There's no downtime, but it's still a long day.
What do you go into it like for preparation? Obviously, there's training in the gym, but the day of, what's your preparation for the day?
My preparation starts. I look at my preparation starting the week before, so it's 5 to 6 days out. I'll come in and do the deload workout. I'll come in and move 50% of the weights, a couple sets of 3, just to get the blood flowing, get a little sweat going, and then take 2 days off. Then like 2 days before the meet, I'll do something with bands, some push-ups, some air squats, something with mobility, make sure my mobility is still going good. And then we weigh in the day before. We weigh in the day before the meet, and after that, I just start eating.
Just to keep the energy.
Hit a buffet, get some Chinese food, just load up on rice, and just start eating, drink of water, Pedialyte, and I go to bed full, ready to throw up. Like, eat so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as far as the morning of, do you weigh in and then like lift an hour later, 2 hours later? Or is it like something where you might wait half the day?
I usually start lifting about 10 because they usually start the meets about 8. So it's about 10 o'clock till I start lifting. So I get up, I eat at 7, some pancakes. Then I eat again at 9, some Rice Krispies treats or Snickers, just something to keep in my stomach. And then I just treat the squat portion of it like I'm coming here to the gym to work out for 2 hours.
Yeah. So you just get on the bar and lift.
Start warming up. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. As far as some events that you've gone to, I mean, obviously you talked about going to Myrtle Beach for your first one. That's got to be memorable. What's another memorable event you've been to?
I love going to Gatlinburg. He did nationals at Gatlinburg 2 years, and that's cool because I could take my whole family up there, do a long weekend, and double it up as a vacation,
Yeah.
and then spend a day lifting with everyone. So those are fun. The Cherokee ones are fun. I had a couple friends come up with me to this last one, so they watched me lift weights and we partied afterwards. It was fun, and it was my birthday weekend too.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was really fun.
That's cool, man. I've been to some grappling tournaments and MMA fights and that kind of stuff. We actually hosted USA powerlifting, a U.S. powerlifting event here a few years ago, and it's a different type of event for sure. Like the spectator side of it is a little different, and like all the spectators are lifters, is what it's, and they're not the only people, but it's
Yeah.
like you can definitely see that they love watching it.
Yeah, I remember that. That was great. That was actually one of the better run events that I've been to, and it's because you guys had food. Because you go to these events, and the people putting on the event, they just do the event. You know, they don't. Everyone else has to bring their own food and water, and you guys had food out there. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
We had the smokehouse that day. Yeah,
I
that's
know.
right.
I know.
That was a good
I wish our guy would, you know, at least park a taco truck out back or something.
time. They crush it. Yeah. Well, what do you think about the when like you said yourself, you like going to them, and you know, while you're there, you see other people. When the people who are lifting more weights, is that like the younger guys typically, or is it guys in your actual division?
No. Another eye-opening thing. That first event, the guy, I was 36 because it's 2006. I was 36. The guy who lifted the most weight that day was 42 years old, and I'm like, oh man, these old guys are strong.
Yeah.
And I'm 44 now, and I'm getting up there, and I'm getting up there in the weight too, like pushing the weight.
So you're pushing more than you ever have, right?
Yeah, actually at the so so you do your lifts. Like I said, I'm always in the middle, starting off in the middle, and then by the time you get to your second and third attempt, you're adding more weight onto the bar. So another cool thing about this last Worlds is I was the last one to attempt a deadlift, which means I attempted the heaviest weight.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That was during the flight, but someone did go after me because he got a fourth chance to break a world record. So when that's coming up, they let people get another shot at it.
What was the world record that day?
Well, I set it in my age and weight class,
Mm-hmm.
and he did too.
That's
He
awesome.
was 1
man.
year older than me, so he was in the 45 to 49-year-old,
Yeah.
and he set the world record for that age and weight, and I set it for mine.
So you have the world record in deadlift right now
In,
for your age and weight,
for
or
the-
just SPF?
In SPF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then, I mean, that's got to mean something, right? People know who you are. Like, that's the world record guy.
It's just in the federation, so unless I tell them, no one really knows.
Do you get to see the same people over, at
Yeah.
different events, though?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Cool people. You know, it's another thing. Like, you build these friendships and
Yeah.
relationships with other people, and it's cool. Like, if anything, just to come see them twice a year, meet up with them again.
That's awesome, man. So when it comes to the in-gym preparation, we're talking before the event, months and weeks and stuff leading up. If somebody was looking to get into it, obviously having a coach is something that'd be beneficial instead of just trying to wing it. Do you have a coach, or do you kind of?
I do.
Yeah.
I do have a coach, yes.
And what's the process of that? How do you get a coach, and what's he do for you?
I messaged him on Facebook and said, hey, are you taking on any more clients right now? And he said, yeah. And I said, sign me up, bro.
Awesome, man.
And it's that simple.
And so the coaching is it like different workouts? Is it more like just target weights, or what are they looking for there?
Well, my coach is awesome. He's not like a cookie cutter coach. He doesn't send everyone out the same cookie cutter program. It's individual for me. I started coaching with him in 2021, and I was actually on the verge of quitting powerlifting because I had this bad hip and knee pain. So I told him about that, and he said, okay, we'll work on that. And like a year and a half later, it was just gone. And he'd been working on that with me, but not telling me.
Sure.
Working on it came down on my ankle and hip mobility. So we did a lot of mobility training, and the workouts he was giving his other clients was specific for them, and he was giving my workout specific for me.
Gotcha. So without you knowing, just the individual exercises and stuff were to help you recover from that, but also making you stronger because you're not having that pain to deal with.
Right.
And the more mobile you are, I guess the easier it is for you to control that weight, right?
Especially getting up in this age, in our 40s now. You do work. Mobility is important.
So with the mobility, is it more about like flexibility, like balance and positioning? Is that what you're talking about?
So for me, my knee pain was stemming from poor ankle mobility. So I couldn't, if I did that ankle mobility test, I would fail it. My knee didn't go very far past my toes and my feet. So that was just a stretching exercise that you do, work on that, stretching out the calves, getting the hips opened up, the hip adductor movements, good girls, bad girls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the PC name for them anymore,
Right.
but working on that little stuff that I never worked on,
Mm-hmm.
never considered, working on that little stuff is what brought me to another level of lifting.
That's awesome. And so I've heard this before, you're not supposed to stretch before, stretching is a recovery tool. And when I stretch, it's mostly like lubrication, joint lubrication, getting things going and things like that. But, beforehand, is mobility training, is that something that's done in the middle of a workout, at the end of the workout? Is it something you do off days or?
I do it every workout. I do it before a workout.
Okay.
Lower body, I'm getting my ankles mobile
Mm-hmm.
and my hips opened up, because that's always been my pain points. So that's what I always have to continue working on. Upper bodies, I'm working on my shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
getting my shoulders mobile, and my upper thoracic region in my back, keeping that flexible and mobile.
I mean, you use your shoulders, I guess, for every lift at some capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to have them. And so with all that training and the mobility side of it and the coaching side of it, if someone was to say, hey, I'm interested in powerlifting, I've been in the gym for a little while, I know what the 3 lifts are basically, what do you think their expectancy should be for training to get competition ready as compared to just being in the gym and actually like maybe do something with it instead of just like showing up?
When we started doing it, we knew it was different. It was a different type of lifting. Going out to test all your maxes in one day, it's hard work.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much coming in for 3 different gym sessions in the same day,
Mm-hmm.
doing your squat, bench, and deadlift. So the biggest thing is you have to change your training to a powerlifting type training.
Mm-hmm.
Most people that come in for exercise, they're just doing, sets of 8 to 12 for exercise. Powerlifting training is you're training to do a 1 rep max, and it's different. You have to train for it differently. Not only that, it's there's rules in the meet. You get commands on how to do that, so you have to know how to do all that stuff. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of research into going on it. If anyone's interested in doing it, I would say start off with whatever federation you're going to lift with and download that rule book and read that rule book and understand how they grade your lifts and give you the commands for the lifts.
So there's technique, not just strength involved, obviously. So you have to like know how to do each of the movements as required.
Yeah.
So even if
Yeah.
you're some corn-fed dude who's just super strong, you also need
Yeah.
to know how to do it, right?
Yep, that's right.
I know that some people, in various athletic things typically can have injuries. I know that I've had injuries in martial arts, and, it's never one of the things that we want to focus on, in conversation, but it's something people should know about. And powerlifting with that much weight, there's definitely some risk involved. There's a lot of risk that could be involved. I saw this last year, I'm not sure if he was a bodybuilder or a powerlifter or both, but he ended up doing some squats, and due to bad spotting, he had the bar fall on his neck and just severed his spinal column. That's a pretty scary thing. How do you kind of, what's the best way that somebody can try to mitigate their technique and not risk injury in this case?
Don't lift without a safety. You got the squat racks in here that have the safety bars. I got a video of me a couple years ago falling forward with 500 pounds into one of those squat racks, and I fell forward. The rack caught the weight. I didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
The safeties are there for a reason. At the meets that I'd go to, there's that last meet I did, there was 5 people spotting me on the squat, 2 on each side and 1 behind me, and there was chains and straps to catch the weight. So there's
multiple redundancies there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the bench, there's the safety arms there to catch you. And then I mean, the deadlift is a deadlift, but there's someone standing behind you, and it's mostly if you get like start lightheaded and getting passing out, and
Yeah, you don't
someone's
fall
there to catch
face
you.
forward into the
Yeah,
bar and everything. Yeah,
it happens. It
it
happens
does.
too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure anybody who's ever lifted a heavy deadlift knows what that
Yeah.
little stars
Uh-huh.
sparkles afterwards.
That's right.
If you haven't experienced that, try a little bit more weight. You'll definitely feel it.
Yes.
So because of that, let's talk about that for a second. So that comes from lack of oxygen to your brain, right? So when you're straining, when you're putting that much effort into using the body, how do you keep from passing out? What's a good tip for that?
Some people are going to pass out. It's just how they're built, and it is what it is. I have gotten lightheaded at meets before, and it's because I guess I get so amped up and so focused that I start holding my breath and I don't breathe. So one of the things I'm constantly telling myself to do right before I lift is breathe. And it comes down to that, you identify what's one of your problems and you work on that problem. My problem was holding my breath. And I don't want to pass out with, a couple 100 pounds on my back.
So do you exhale as you lift, like as it's coming off the ground?
No. I get my brace, get in the lift pretty quick, brace, hold my breath, squat down, and right when it's about 75% up, I exhale.
I got you. So near the top of the lift, just for extra boost.
Yeah.
Push it out and move. Awesome. Well, I mean, the deadlift to me is, like you said, as far as spotters go, it's kind of a safer lift in terms of you don't have to worry about the bar falling on your neck, falling on your chest, anything like that. But it also can be, it's probably well, I mean, there's some bad squats out there too, but it's pretty easy for people to mess up deadlifts, I think. They're just trying to force the weight off the ground.
Yeah.
What is your preferred deadlift style? Do you like a narrow grip? Do you like shoulder width? Do you like sumo squat or sumo deadlift?
I'm conventional, and I've just been doing it so long that I guess like if I just stand normal, like if I'm standing relaxed and normal with my feet shoulder width apart, that's where my feet are. And when I bend over and grab the bar, where my hands go is where they go. And it's right about just about where the outside the smooth part of the deadlift bar.
Are you guys allowed to wear wraps or straps?
No. But some federations do have like a
separate
deadlift
category?
only. Yeah, separate category for it. Yeah.
So without the straps, are you doing mixed grip or are you just doing straight grip?
Yeah, mixed grip, over under.
Yeah, I think you have to.
I don't mess with the hook grip.
Yeah.
I can do it to a certain weight, but I mean, I don't want to beat up my thumbs. I'm gonna be enough pain from lifting all day. I don't want to add to it.
I got you, man. Yeah, I've tried both. I definitely think the up down grip is much easier. I know there's some kind of tension on the bicep sometimes that people aren't really used to, but I think that comes more from not having the tension in the arms before they stand as compared to just having their arms out.
Yeah, it's definitely poor form.
As far as the squat goes, I think squats are probably, like deadlifts, obviously we do see bad form on that because people, I guess it's less risk up front in lifting the bar. So if they can't lift it, they can't lift it. But with squats, sometimes people, I think it's probably the least liked of the lifts.
Yeah.
And you start with it first. So what are your thoughts on squats and what do you do to get through that workout?
It's definitely, you definitely have to have your form on point with it. All the times I've ever gotten hurt or like lightly injured in the gym has been from squats and deadlifts. And before I got my coach, I was getting injured once a year. Your form has to be locked on perfect, especially when you're starting to put a couple 100 pounds up there.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta understand if it's just the bar or something like that. But
Yeah.
when you start putting plates and plates and plates,
Yeah.
and do you guys use? Are you allowed to use knee wraps at all, or?
Yeah, I do. I do 2 events a year. I do a raw event where it's just sleeves, and then Worlds I do wraps.
And with the wraps, they give you a little bit of extra tension in the knee to protect the buckling. Is that basically it?
Definitely, yeah. And support coming up.
Mm-hmm. A little
I
boost.
wouldn't have been able to do 725 without it.
Yeah. What do you think about the guys who wear like the bench jackets and stuff like that? Do you think that's cheating?
No,
No.
it's just another category of lifting.
Sure.
That's for more advanced lifters, definitely. And I actually spent the last Worlds. I spent Friday night watching the bench competition, and people think, oh, they put this shirt on, they can bench 800 pounds. No, you can't. It's the bench shirt does help, obviously, but the degree of difficulty to control that bar is really, really high.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was watching people 200 pounds bench 800 pounds, and I was watching people 300 pounds like attempt 1,000 pounds.
It's a lot of weight.
And getting up there close, watching it, and not just watching it on TV, I definitely got a different appreciation for it. And it's those guys, they're monsters. They really are.
For sure.
That's really hard to do.
That sounds like a ton of weight. You know, just thinking about it, like people don't really think about that as weight, but man, 1,000 pounds off your chest. That's like a car sitting on your chest and you lifting half of it off of you. You know, like just pushing yourself out from under the car.
Yeah, you have to lower it and then raise it back up.
That's scary too, right? With that, did they help lift off on almost all the standing ones or the bench?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They got people lifting that weight up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the competitions, I've definitely seen a good mixture of men and women in the events. Do they have kids at the events as well?
Yeah. That's one of the good things about Worlds. I think the youngest kids were. I know my friend's daughter has competed before, and I think she was 13 or 14. So I know there's kids as young as 12 out there. And there's a guy last year, I think he was 76. He's been competing since the 1960s.
76.
Yeah.
I bet it keeps his bones dense, man. It keeps him
I'm
strong.
sure.
Yeah. I thought I saw something, a couple years back, and they were talking about one of the reason that a lot of elderly people have those kind of bad injuries just because they stop putting load on their bones. They stop putting load on their body. Too much being, sitting around and stuff, and then that's more prone to injury from that. So I can imagine, while it might seem like, oh man, that's dangerous for a guy that is his age, it's probably safer than
definitely
just sitting around all day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As far as the women's, is it about, I think when we had it here, I gotta say, it wasn't that much more men than women. I think it was like 60-40 maybe.
Yeah.
Is that what you see typically?
Yeah. The way when he split up Worlds over 3 days, Friday was bench and deadlift day, and Saturday was full power men's, and Sunday was all the females. So there was enough female lifters that they got their own day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you seen some impressive women lifting at these events? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, these strong ladies, man, they're squatting 500 pounds.
That's more than me. So.
Yeah. That's a lot of weight.
A lot of weight, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, we had we've obviously had some good competitors. We had a little bit of a powerlifting team there for a while, and I think when we advertised for it, we definitely had men join up, but I think we had more women on our team than we had men. And I think it has to do with just the fact that, like, as women, I think when you get a little older, you get less chance to compete in a lot of things, as compared to like high school and things like that. So there's not that powerlifting is necessarily a professional sport. I know there's guys getting paid sponsorships and stuff like that, but do you get paid first of all for like competitions?
No, I don't.
No.
It's
Is there a
fun.
pro circuit for powerlifting or?
He does pro events. SPF, they do a couple pro events a year, where you can enter, pay the money to enter, and if you get first, second, or third, you win some prize money.
I got you, but not like a circuit of like, because I guess it's not like super televised and maybe at Arnold Classic or something.
I think
that.
it's just split up of all the entry money that other people pay.
I gotcha. Well, yeah, I was thinking about it, and it's like of different events. I'm not saying that women don't have sports. It's just I think it's interesting to see that aspect of it, because when it comes to like in the gym, it's like 50-50 men and women in the gym and fitness industry. And so I think it's cool to see female do powerlifters, and females that do powerlifting and that do CrossFit tournament game or CrossFit games, and strong men even.
Yeah.
I've seen some women do
Yep.
strongman events, so that's pretty cool too.
It
Have
is,
you
yeah.
ever competed in a strongman event?
I haven't. There's a couple guys here that are trying to get me to do it, and
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I got you, man.
I'm
Teach
good where
them.
I'm at.
What do you think about those guys? As far as, do you think that a lot of those guys cross over and do powerlifting events?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And the guys that you see at these meets, are they any of them strongmen too?
A couple of them, they've done it like just for fun,
Yeah.
but not. It's
It's a different training, right?
if you're gonna dedicate yourself to getting better, it's pretty much one or the other,
Mm-hmm.
and just that's how it is.
I gotcha.
Like you can't do CrossFit and powerlifting.
Yeah.
You can't do strongman and powerlifting.
Exactly.
You can, but you're not gonna
Benefit.
excel the way you want to.
Mm-hmm. So having a more isolated or singular mindset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So if you were to do something in powerlifting that you haven't done before, if there's like some goal that you have for the future, what would that be? Wish list, I guess you could say.
I would really like to dabble into that equipped lifting
Mhm.
with the suits
Yeah.
and the shirts. It's just, no offense to you, this just isn't the place for it.
Sure.
It's when you start getting into the suits and the shirts, it becomes more of a team sport where you need people to
You need spotters, you need helpers. Yeah.
lifters. You need people to help you get those suits on and off.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like
there's
an
just-
astronaut getting ready to get on
Yeah,
the space shuttle.
There's just not that type of lifting crowd here.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that it keeps me from trying to put 900 pounds on my back, I guess.
I know you train pretty early, so sometimes I'm like, I hope he's got enough people in there to help him out.
I know how to fall and not get hurt.
That's good. Well, that's cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming in today
Yeah, I
and
appreciate
sharing about powerlifting. And, we do have hopes to do another event here. I would like to talk to SPF possibly, because maybe they'd like to do something in Beaufort, South Carolina. I don't know. That
Yeah,
might
I'll
be
get you
cool.
their contact info. He just sold it. There's 4 new people that own
Okay.
it. And they're actually coming to Augusta in September.
Okay.
So yeah, I would definitely love to see something here.
That'd be
If
awesome,
I don't
man.
lift in it, I'll definitely come work it for
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, Tim.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. If you could, go ahead and subscribe and share this with your friends. And if you're interested in powerlifting, come to the Foundry. Come meet Tim. You got to be here early to see him, though. He's not here late in the day. But we appreciate you guys. Have a great day.